little summon over there wearing the bikini and the new Twin Tails is adorable.
You guys have a higher price for some bullshit upgrade. It's not even worth that. Your weapons. Your guys' weapons sucks. I'll take the RNG any day over your weapons.
잠시 후 매칭된 던전으로 이동합니다.
Alright, this will be the furnace run. Because they're not that OP and they need to do mechanics.
Okay, that's got to be a guild outfit with that striping. Tiger stripe raincoat or something.
This will be the furnace run. Should be... Oh, I'm tanking too. I'm tanking.
The furnace run?
Yeah, music is off. Because this is gonna go on YouTube. No sin, don't taxi, just run through, completely run. Just run. Clear only the end here. And again, no taxi here, just run all the way to the end. Grab whatever mobs you get, go all the way to the end. Don't worry about them. And then whoever's aggro, go to this corner. So you LOS them into the group and just AoE.
The corner of doom.
Yep. And someone's behind, so we're gonna get stuck in combat probably. Or not. Alright, if you're out of combat here, jump. You're at the lamppost. You're gonna be even with this ceiling. Just go straight through. Do not aggro the dog. Try not to aggro the dog. You can aggro these two guys, but you just keep running. Just keep running to the end. Like here, back here. And they should de-aggro. See? They will de-aggro. As long as you don't get the dog. The dog does not de-aggro. Now there's gonna be two ads from the back, or one ad from the back and one ad from the front. Or no, one from the front and two from the back, I think. You have to CC them as they're doing the animation to explode. And if you're a tank, you want to tank this in one position as much as you can. If you see that message, that means fire stuff is coming at you. The appropriate thing right here to do is stack all three, then move to the side. Now you see the ads? If you CC them, once you CC them, when they're doing their animation to blow up, they die. So you do not need to kill them. Don't touch them. Don't touch them until until they do the animation. I'll do an example. Animation, and they should die when the fight is going on. That animation when they scrunch up and they're going to explode. And here, if you don't have a taxi, aggro all the way to the end. Aggro these two into the corner. And just, that's it. Just wipe them all. Just iframe. You saw how closely compact those stacks came. They come very, very fast. 1, 2, 3. So if you have a BM barrier, use it. BM barrier. If not, then you do C immune. Do your dragon spin as a BM. And at the end of it, you could take one tick. One tick, then you QE to the other side. This guy, pull him back to the door as much as you can. Do not CC him. You need everybody's DPS. CC grab doesn't mean it's more DPS. Every time that message comes up, that means the next section of the bridge is on fire. The next section of the bridge, if he had gone on, it would be up to this, where my mouse is. If he had done another message, it would have been all fire up to here. And the last section is that last part.
And then you cook nicely. Fried Lin.
The message at top, the message, it does a horn, it does a ding. The lava comes after that. And it's the same time that the ads will spawn. Okay. They're gonna do the they're doing the mechanics, so I'm just gonna pan the camera. Right side, 1, 2, 3. Just back here where he's starting, 1, 2, 3. This summoner, 1, 2, and 3. And that summoner left and right, 1, 2. Should have waited. You want to keep him in the middle as much as possible. Stun, SS, use a cat aerial. And then at tier, you should be using Veil or Pollen Storm. You're having a cat tank. After it goes backwards, it's gonna come to you as the tank. If you get hit by that third knockdown, that overhead strike, that third one, you lose aggro. Even if you block it, you lose aggro. Now he goes to the middle when he's 86%. and he will do sword strikes at the furthest person. And you see, they're using immunes to grab all the flowers. You come close and just do as much abilities as you can, and then use stealth. The summoner stealths the party. Stun. Aerial SS. And if you have aggro, you can root and have the person aggroed on the backside. The next one is 58%, 57. And again, immune. Summoner's gonna take 1 on the face. If you do not immune those, you actually take a lot of damage. I don't have Q up, so I can't immune the grab. There's the immune. Stun. If you stun too early, you're fucked because he's gonna get the fire line. If he hits the fire line, he heals. 3 fire lines and it's a soft enrage. %. And if you're smart enough, if your party is smart enough, you can save root. For example, when have the aggro and he's doing swords on me, you can root him at the last second on the last attack because he's forced to aggro. He's forced to aggro the furthest person at that point. So if you root him while he's facing me, easy like extra 5 seconds of DPS. Just like this, the cat is forcing him to aggro, but he's rooted to face the opposite side.
경매를 다른 파티원이 낙찰받았습니다. 다음 경매가 시작됩니다.
They keep taunting because it's good. It's good for the damage. If you taunt and your cat goes on the other side, I mean, if you taunt, you root, and you move the cat to the other side, he just stands there looking like an idiot for 5 seconds. It's free DPS.
It's good for the tank. I think that'll be a hard pill to swallow for people since, Dragon and Summoner taunting.
And there's a, once you kill this double CC mob, this mini boss, commander, captain, whatever, there's a cinematic. Don't get killed by the other mobs if you're training through by watching the cinematic. Just leave. Just exit the cinematic. Now this part, you're gonna need 2 people to do markers. Unless you're gonna do solo marker. Okay, this guy's saying he's gonna do solo mark. So then the Warlock is going to be doing the root. Warlock's going to be doing the root. This summoner on the right is doing solo. And this is just DPS. And I'm tank. The marker goes on the closest person. So most of the time, it's gonna go on a tank, unless the DPS that say they're going to do the mark get closer than 3 meters. Now jump on the tank. You want to keep it in the middle. And you want to keep it facing the entrance where you came in. See how the marker came in melee range to get it. To get the mark. Now he's facing the warlock. Root. So he doesn't go anywhere. After you root, you need to immune. After the breath, you jump on the mark, jump on the tank. See how I have 29 stack or 39 stacks? Fire. 40 stacks now because I ate the breath. And it's ticking for 11k. Tank jump. 47 stacks. $13k pop. He's angry. At around, this should be 30 stacks. At around 30 stacks, he gets enraged and everything hits harder. Everything. AoE immune. He can do one of the other. If he jumps to the tank, he won't explode. If he explodes, he won't jump to the tank. That's cooldown. If you see right hand side, everything is filled up with generators. And you reset your fire stacks. Jumps on the range. Breath. Jumps on the tank. SS. And doing this because you need to time an actual the actual route for the jump. Nobody else can be using roots. Nobody else. Only the warlock is allowed to use roots. The summoner is not doing mechanics anymore because we're about to kill it. And that's really it.
단위 경매가 시작되었습니다.
No, burst mode is not based on stacks. It's based on timing.
경매에
But most of the time, the timing does happen around 30. Happens around 25 to 30 stacks. If you don't get hit with anything else,
사용할 수 없습니다.
if you do not get hit with anything else that gives you stacks, he will enrage, soft enrage, not the kill enrage, but soft enrage at around 25 to 30 stacks.
경매를 양보하였습니다. 경매에 입찰했습니다.
He's going to keep teleporting. The first boss is going to keep teleporting no matter what you do. Even if there's a regular tank on it, even if there's a cat tank on it. It's not the point. After he teleports, he's going to teleport back. You want to make him teleport back to the middle. You want to make him teleport back to the middle.
경매를
care about that.
받았습니다. 경매가 모두 종료되었습니다.
This is much harder because there is no forgiving you messing up the switches. Once you get the marker, I can explain the marker now. Once you get the marker, you're melee range. You have to be in melee range to get the marker. Once you get the marker, you'll have a dragon pulse, flame pulse. Once you stand here, anywhere on this circle, it's best to just stand at the tip so you can get off at any time you want. If I'm standing here right now, this would move 1 clockwise. If I let it pulse again, it will move clockwise to the 12th position, and then if I pulse again, it would move clockwise to the 9 o'clock position. Or sorry, no, 3 o'clock. Fucking thing is backwards. If I let it pulse, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, 6.
파티장이 변경되었습니다.
It would just continuously turn the dial. And when the generator lights up in one of these 4 corners, that means the ball is coming. It will not tell you on the minimap. You must look for it on your own. You have to look for it on your own. It will not, there is no marker on the minimap for it. So whoever's doing the switches needs to pan their camera. I don't really give a shit for your DPS if you're a marker. If you're a marker, your DPS is gonna be shit. I don't care. You do this right, or everyone dies repeatedly. I don't give a shit if you're doing your max DPS. I don't give a shit if you're doing your worst DPS. If you don't do the generators right, everyone dies. Even if you're at top number 1, I don't care. You cause everyone to die, you suck. So when it comes, you need to put it into a generator with the least possible moves. You can't be rotating one all the way around. Like let's say we label these, top left is 1, 2, 3, and 4 switches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. These switches. So this top side is 1, 2, and this bottom side is 3, 4. If it comes out of 1, and you need to get it to 4, you better have it facing this way. If you have it facing the whole long trip around, you're going to wipe. You're going to cause what? You're going to cause a wipe. The order, the only guaranteed order is the first 2. Or the first one. The first one. The only guaranteed one is the first one, and it will come from either generator 1, switch 1, or generator 2, switch 2. The first one is the only one that's guaranteed. Everything else is random, quote unquote. It is random enough that you will always succeed if you do the least amount of moves for the balls. So this encounter knows you need to do it the least amount, but you need to do every single ball. So it won't be punishing, like it will not punish you. If you need 1 orb in switch 1, it's not gonna give it to you at 4 without enough time to get it to 1. That does not happen. Does not happen. Just doesn't happen. Okay. Again, it's random. There's a semi-order, but it's still random. The PC knows what you need. And that's for phase 1 and 2. Phase 3 and 4, double balls come at once, and they're always opposite sides. So if you're in the third and fourth phase right now, that is, there's no percentage to tell you. There's no timing. There's nothing. The boss If you cool him down twice, he's gonna go into third phase. Third and fourth phase, if you have a ball spawning at 1, it will spawn at 3. Also, 1 and 3 will spawn. 2 and 4. 1, 3, 2, 4. Or it could be 2, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3. But that's all it's going to spawn. It will not spawn additional orbs. Orbs only spawn if you put it into a generator. If you do not put it into a generator, that orb ball is going to go loop around and around forever. No new orb will spawn. No new orbs will spawn. If you go past phase 4, you're in rage. You're out of time. You suck. Kappa. If you can't kill her by 4th phase, you don't have enough DPS, or you're doing something wrong. I can escape and show you guys the first one. There's a couple of other things for the first boss. I'll go back and explain. Now that I have the cleared dungeon, I can explain. It's the same. This boss has the same animations as Prison, Citadel. Same animations. And you do not look at the map. You look at the diagrams on the ground. You need to have spatial awareness of where your positions are always. So if I'm the summoner, or the party immune, if I'm the BM, that's supposed to get 2. If I'm the Sin, if that's supposed to get 2. If I'm the FM, that's supposed to get 2. I always have to be in this entrance ledge. I'll take one, take the other, and then go the furthest. Now there are 4 things that happen because there is only four party immunes here. There are only 4 party immunes here. That's possible. So if you're a Sin, you SS one, you E the other one, right? And then you go further than everyone else that he shoots the missile at you. Once he's gonna target you already, you can tab back in and go into stealth. You need to be in stealth before he does the grab. Do not use your party stealth. You only use your self. So you tab, or you one tab, or you whatever method you want to do. Do not use a party stealth. And then when he raises his hand, you need to immune right before he slams the party. Right before he slams the party on to take damage. You have to press 2F now? Or is it 2-2? Whatever it is. That's for Sin. If you're Summoner, you'd X1, you'd X, and then hopefully you get the other one with the same X. If not, you SS. Then you go the furthest, and you stay the furthest. And you push 4. You stealth yourself, and you need to make sure that your stealth, when you use your own dandelion, you do not press the party one. And when you push stealth, you need to push so that the missile hits you at the last 0.5 seconds. You do not dandelion right before it hits you. You have to hit the dandelion so that the missile hits you at the end of the dandelion duration, so that your cooldown is up faster.
I forget. Can you actually cheat and get hit, knocked down, and then
You
use
can.
2 stealth?
You can. You could also do that. You can also get hit. So you stay the furthest, get hit and use your 2 escape. And make sure that you're immune when he's grabbed. When he's grabbing the party. So then you can use 4F to party stealth right before the grab. Same timing as the Sin. You need to make sure that it's that timing. And then if you're BM, if you do not have a stealth, if you're a BM and you're taking these two, you need to immediately SS, take 1, and then, you know, go back to the boss a bit. But you need to also be around here when he's shooting the missile, and you can SS the last one. Your SS cooldown will be up for 2, unless you want to use SS and then C for your C immune. You don't want to take a hit. You don't want to take a flower debuff. It hurts. I think the first one does like 5-6k a tick, and then the second one's gonna do 12k a tick, and the last one does like 25k a tick.
But then how does the BM do the barrier thing for the party?
Well, he avoids getting hit by the missiles, right? So he's standing out here. You avoid getting hit by the missiles because he shoots it. It's gonna AoE stay here, right? So you can 2 back. You can 2 back, 3 back, whatever you want to get into. And you need to use Blade Barrier 1F right before he grabs everybody. He's going to grab you too. So you need to 1F like maybe half a second right before he grabs you, so that your Blade Barrier will tick for all 3 hits. And for an FM, it's the same thing as a BM. Q, E, don't get hit by it, SS away from the AoE, be an ice. Right before he grabs everyone, you press V. That's it. And you do not get out. You do not get out of the ice prison. Do not get out of the ice prison until the whole thing is over. You come out early, you're gonna fail something. You come out early, you're gonna fail a damage. You come out early, you're gonna fail a heal. Something. So do not do any of that. Now the second part about the flowers are fine. Second part is the stun and the knockup. The ropes can come from any of the cardinal directions that's relative to the ground. So it can come from, so literally the cross is like this. It can come from this side. It'll come like a line going across to the other side. Only one line. You have to stun and knock him in the air so that he does not touch the line. And you cannot jump over the line. You cannot jump over the line. You have to SS, you have to immune, you have to do something to immune the line.
Does it kill you or just hurt a lot?
It gives you 1 stack like flower.
Oh.
So if you take 3 of the lines, you're taking 25k or something a tick. So, and if you are okay, there are like 3 main classes that do this. Okay, 3 main classes that actually do the aerial. Oh, 4. I'll count 4. The easiest one, I'll explain. The easiest one is Summoner. Okay, you have your cat. The line's coming. You stun it. Right? It should be in the middle. That's why it's in the middle, because it can come from any side. If you're tanking it here and the line comes here, the dungeon says fuck you, I don't care. It's gonna spawn the line here, and you're gonna get 1 stack. Does not matter. No matter how much you cry, that line, if it randomly appears on this side, it's going to appear on this side. And if you're tanking it here, sucks to be you. You're gonna get 1 stack. If you're here and the line's here, sucks to be you, you got 2 stacks. You need to be in the middle. You have to tank it in the middle. You have to keep it in the middle. And that's it. So, first easiest way, have a summoner. You're gonna stun it right before the line. You use cat launch, and the cat can keep it in the air as an extension. You must use your X then also, or save your cat somehow, because it's gonna take 1 stack of the fire. If you're holding Q on the cat as much as possible, it won't die. That's the first easiest one. Second one are the BM and BDs. BM and BDs, you would just use your blade barrier, or your sword barrier or blade barrier, whichever one it is, aerial, and use extension. You don't really care about the line at that point, but you must immune it. And if you don't have the immune, then you can do the really stylish thing. You launch it, SS behind the line, press 1, and then extend the aerial. You need to be quick though, because if you extend too late, the boss won't be there. Or you can aerial, C, aerial. Whichever one works. KFM is a little strange. You can aerial and QE, and then do another aerial extend. Or you can just take the hit. I wouldn't suggest it. The fourth way is a sin, and the party needs to know to stop DPS. And I'd put it as fourth because that's gonna be a fucking big ass problem for you guys. You stun, launch it in the air, and you web. If anyone hits it, it's gonna drop on top of the line. If a warlock thrall hits it with their fucking orb, it's gonna drop. Anything that touches it, it's gonna drop from the web. No. KFM evasion, nope. Nope. It's a red hit.
That's a good question. Can the SF do the whole F thing to extend it as well?
It's
You
a
know,
red.
maybe got one.
The red line. It's a red attack. You cannot aerial it. I already said that, Core. BM can probably bury, or LBM can probably bury and just do it full extension. I already said that. You can also, if you have nothing else, you can use a Warlock 2 to launch. If you really don't have anything else, but I really doubt you'll have nothing else. But again, here's the important part. You need to use physical extensions. LBM aerial extension, BM aerial extension, KFM aerial extension. The evasion on the aerial attack does not help you immune the rope. A destroyer can extend it using their crash, their knockdown. But I still take a stack. I take a stack from it. Aerial does not mean you're immune to the rope. You have to have an immune skill. You can't pin it. You cannot grab it. You can't pin it. You can't do anything with the boss. You cannot grab it, you cannot grapple it, you cannot pin it, you cannot cat pin, nothing. You can't do anything with the boss. You cannot hold it still. The only thing that works on this boss is rooting and going from behind him. It's the only thing that works if you want to make him look like an idiot. You aggro, root, and go behind him. It's the only thing that works. You cannot grab, you cannot grapple, you cannot cat, nothing.
I guess the process for that for Summoner would be Q1 root and then E to bring him where you are.
No, your cat should be going behind a rooted target automatically. As long as he's not queued.
Not if it's currently Q, that's kind of what I was thinking.
But yeah, I mean... No, you can root it, then cat goes behind it automatically, and queue it. You don't have to queue first.
I guess that works too, yeah.
You can let the tank get aggro first. He can take one hit, root it, send your cat in, and queue. He's gonna look like an idiot. Just, I want to hit the cat, but it's behind me. But I can't turn.
I can't seem to turn around.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times.
So yeah, back to the aerial thing. FMs cannot use their 4 to keep him in the air. Soul Fighters cannot use your F, your ice volley, to keep him in the air. No, it doesn't work. Those abilities is just like Destroyer's Sea Launch. Just like Destroyer's Sea Launch, if you think you can immune the rope and then launch for your party, no. Sea Launch only works on a single CC target. It will only work on Yaksun. It will only work on any single mob with 1 CC. This boss has 4 CC bars. It will not work. Does not work. Web works. Web works. You can hold the boss. You can hold the boss in the air with web. But if somebody hits the boss, it's gonna come down. He has to take 0 damage in that whole web phase. Normal sim combo also works. Aerial E, then go back and do your 1. It's fine. Like I said, the only thing that does not work, Force Master 4 aerial grip, and Soul Fighter Ice Volley F. He has to take 0 hits. Like, you cannot, your thrall, if your thrall hits a web target, it's gonna drop. If you have a summon thrall as a warlock, and you do not press E on it when he's webbing, and he shoots a shadow volley at the boss is gonna drop right on top of the rope. If an FM hits LB on that web target, it's gonna drop. Dots that are already on the boss do not do anything. No, you don't want to F slam. Many of the slams, for example, KFM RB finisher, BM BD RB finisher, those are very tricky because the boss is technically already on the ground when you already do those. You're forcing the boss to be from the aerial state, it's in a normal state now. And if you RB at the wrong time, if you down at the wrong time, he is on the ground and he will take a stick. He will take a stack. I've used F before a little too early and it counts as the boss being on the ground. Warlock Hamong 2, I believe it does extend. I really haven't seen it though. Nobody needs to use a warlock to launch this. Nobody needs to. You should have enough parties.
Long story short, just bring a summoner.
Just bring a summoner, bring a BD, bring a BM, bring a KFM, bring a Sin. If you launch it at the exact right time, yes, you do not need to extend it. You do not need to extend it. Well, if you're in a 4-hour party, sucks to be you. Get a better fucking party comp. I'll call you all idiots for having four warlocks then. It's only a fucking... It's just for shits and giggles party. So, highlights of this. 1. You need a party immune of any type. Summoner, Sin, BM, FM. Here's also a little hint. BDs are useless for this immune because they don't last long enough. BDs only last 3 seconds. Useless for the grab. Does not work. Don't even attempt it. It doesn't last long enough. Only Summoners, Sins, FMs, and BMs. 2. You need an aerial. Summoners, BMs, KFMs, BDs, anything aerial. Aerials. You need 1. You need 4 stuns. Or any 4. Any 4. You can, if your party wants to use 4 groggies, go ahead. I don't care. If your party wants to use 4 downs, I don't care. You need 4 and the ability to launch it from that point. And that's really it. 2 major things in this. Now, a hint for the flowers. Here's a little hint. If you're a destroyer, you can SS, and if you're taking 3, go next to the flower, and you can see and eat both flowers with 1 C. As long as you still have your SS speed boost, you can see, eat 1, go next to it, see, and eat both. If you're a BM and you're taking flowers, you can SS and use C on 1, and your SS will be back in time for the last one. If you're a KFM taking it, same thing applies. You can do SS for 2 of them, and the last one you need to use your Z. For FM, if you're taking ice, you can ice tab on this exact spot where it starts. You can ice tab, eat the first one, and then Q and E the last 2. If you don't want to waste your SS. If you want to waste your SS, well, then you should be like around here. If you have the 1 point in SS. If you don't have the 1 point, it's just a normal SS for like melee. Warlock, you're gonna SS and then use Z for the last 2. And you always want to start off on this one. You always want to start off on this far one if you're taking the triple, because these 2 are closer together than these 2. These 2 are closer together than these 2. What else am I missing? BDs, if you're gonna do it, you SS, then you do your Maelstrom barrier for the last 2. Now, if for your party comp, if you do have a summoner, if you do have a Sin, if you're doing the stealth version, and you have a BM, your BM can just barrier, and you guys can just walk into the 3 flowers. That's perfectly fine, because you don't need to save your BM barrier for anything else. Because you have a summoner that can do aerial cat extension. Because you have a Sin, you can whip it. So you can use your barrier to eat the blade. You can use your barrier to eat the flowers. If you have an FM that's willing to give up their stuns, and that your party does not need the 2 stuns from the FM, you can spec for your dragon. You need 4 points in the dragon so that it becomes a double ice dragon, and you can remove the flower stack from your party members. Yeah, see, the cyclone also works, as Khan says, but if you're doing the seed to cyclone, you need to do this one. You see this one and then cyclone this one. Because I don't know if it's gonna last long enough if you see from the beginning here and do this one. Because most of the time you really just SS into one. You SS into one and then do your one immune for the other two flowers here. And no, you cannot knock him back. You can't knock him back through the thing. If you get knocked back yourself, you can test this. If you get knocked back through something through a mechanic, you still get hit because you're counted as a moving target on the ground. What else? Okay, so that's first boss with the highlights and everything. Second boss. Again, the generators. Highlight important part number 1. Generators. You need 1 to 2 markers. 2 people willing to mark, or 1 person willing to do solo, and that solo person is going to have the shittiest DPS in the world because all he's gonna be doing is running around in combat speed, hitting the 4 switches over and over, going back in, getting the mark, assisting out, and getting the switches. He's not touching the boss at all. Like, really, he's not touching the boss. Two, you need a root. An FM, a warlock, a summoner, or a KFM that is willing to spec Ice Root SS. You need a root of some sort. And if you're doing the KFM Ice SS, then you need to respec your Z for immunes, because he's gonna target the range, and you need to go close, like 2 meters to SS. Then he's gonna do breath on you. You go to the side, and then you have to immune. You have to stand here. You have to stand in the middle, so he jumps back to the middle and immune. So you either use Z, or you have to wait for last second QE. When you get the marker, it's the message that says the generator is about to start or something. He doesn't say anything, it's just a message on the thing, but that's not really the point, because you shouldn't be depending on the message to know when to go in. Your tank should be 3 meters always, and the marker should always be 1 to 2 meters, regardless of any time. The biggest hint for you as a marker: if you do not have the buff, you should be in 1 to 2 meters regardless of what's happening on the boss. Always. If you do not have the mark, you're going 1 to 2 meters. Period. You don't have to care about messages, you don't have to care about shit. If you're a marker and you do not have a mark, you're not pulsing, you need to be 1 to 2 meters. Once you finish your 2-3, most of the time your pulse will only last for you to do 4 switches, or 3 balls, or 4 switches. After that point, you should be to 1 to 2 meters inside the boss. I don't really care if you can't see yourself. I don't really care if you are not doing your optimal DPS because you can't see shit. You are 1 to 2 meters. That's it. So we gone over the route, we gone over the marker. Next important thing is the tank. You saw me as a tank. You make him jump back to the middle, you SS back, or do any kind of immune to go back. I could have just stood here and used Q immune after he jumps to jump back into the middle. If the boss touches the ball, it does a 30 or 25 meter explosion, and it will drain like, I don't know, 30, 40, 50k HP. It does that much damage. And it will stun you also. So if the boss is on you and the boss hits the orb, you're gonna get stunned for like 1 to 2 seconds, electrified. You're shocked, and the boss is just gonna hit you. Also, if you have the marker, don't be an idiot and stand on top of someone else. You're dragon pulsing for a reason. You're a fiery pulse for a reason. If you stand on somebody else, you're giving them stacks of the fire debuff, and you're gonna burn everybody to death. If you're on marker duty, do not bring your fucking self, do not bring your marker onto the tank and get him burned. Because he's going to take 60, 70, 80 stacks and he's going to die. Do not stand on top of each other either behind the boss, because behind the boss is not always the safest. This boss, the safe point for this boss, if the boss is in the middle, hold on. If the boss is always in the middle and he's facing the entrance, the safe point for all DPS is this golden dial here. This, like, what is it, 8 o'clock? It's always 8 o'clock, around this, the 8 to 9 in this little quadrant. That's the safe zone for DPS. If you want to stand in one place and just do damage, this is the safe zone, because he has a frontal and a back. There's a frontal attack and a backside attack. Standing at the 9 o'clock or the 3 o'clock, you'll get hit by the frontal. Standing around here is the best place, so that you can just move left a little bit to avoid the backside. The backside is slow. And yeah, as Cons is saying, if you fuck up on the marking and switches, you are wiping. If the ball does not go into the generator ASAP, that means within 1 to 2 switches, you are going to time up no matter what. There's zero leniency. Leniency. Is that even a word? There's zero tolerance for this mechanic. If you mess up, if the ball goes into the same generator once, it's gonna bounce back out. You are going to wipe. There is no time left. Restart. That's it. It does, Core. You need to put in the least possible switches. You're playing a time game here. You're playing a time game. Let's say if the ball comes here twice, you need to put it in this generator and this generator. You're not going to send the ball down this way and put it in this generator for no reason when you have a generator open here. The faster you put the ball in, the faster another ball is generated. There's absolutely no reason to delay putting a ball into a generator. You need to get it in ASAP. No. If you mess up, it's a guaranteed wipe. Because if you do not cool him down, when he goes angered and he turns red, if you do not have 6 out of the 8 filled, you are going to enrage. You are going to wipe. When he goes angered, you better hope you already have 6 out of 8 generated, powered. If not, you are wiping no matter what. You are going to wipe no matter what. As soon as a ball goes in, another one is ready to spawn. One after another, after another, after another. I'm gonna search for another party. Maybe. I'll search for another party, and hopefully I get to do the buff this time. Hopefully I'll get to do the flower and everything else. What the fuck? Why do you have this, but you have this? That's so unbalanced. It's very fast, cons. It doesn't really matter. It's very fast. You need to be prepared right away. No, you cannot preset the arrows. You cannot preset the switches in some direction. No, you cannot. Once, if you wipe, the arrows are just gonna stay like that. Unless you want to reset that whole section. Everybody will have to go back to the first boss section. And then you have to re-clear that captain just to reset switches. That's fucking retarded, cons. That's retarded. Just go with the flow, because the first ball is gonna be either in switch 1 or 2. It's not worth. You know it's gonna be in 1 or 2, so just you only have to move 1 and 2 right away. It's not worth setting up switches again and again and again. Yeah, if you have a lot of melee people, you're gonna have a headache. I'm trying to look for another party, but I don't see one. If you want 8 set, then just go kill the first boss over and over, I guess. If you really can't find a party to kill the last boss, just repeatedly kill the first boss. Oh god, no. This party is going for... That party is going for... No. No marker. I mean, if you understand everything I said, you shouldn't be wiping. I mean, like any for extensive amounts of time. It should be like a first couple of times to actually get everything down pat, and then you should be clearing it. I doubt you can get. I doubt you guys can skip mechanics. $49 million. I don't think so. $250. That's if you can survive the dance. That's if you can survive the dot. You're forgetting that the dot is going to do massive amounts of damage. Especially at the end if you're pushing that no thing. If you're pushing no marker. If you're pushing no marker. You're gonna be pushing your health. That's if you all survive. You guys all forgetting that's if you survive enough for the dot. Summoner healing is not gonna help you. Because the summoner doesn't heal as much as the dot hits you. Oh, maybe this one.
조건이 맞지 않아 입장할 수
I was
없습니다.
full. No.
Oh, I
조건이
just realized I
맞지
have
않아
30 feathers
입장할
already.
수
But
없습니다.
Full. It's a daily today too. Should be a lot of parties. I don't know why there are not many parties.
I was actually just about to comment that yeah, Furnace was one of the dailies.
This one maybe.
I would do it, but at this point I don't feel like there's really much point.
I don't know if this is gonna be
잠시 후
no.
왼쪽의
I don't know.
이동합니다.
I don't know if this is gonna be a non-marker party or not. It's not as high. It's not as high as the other one was. Oh great, my chat's bugged. That's fine. So no taxi, just run through everything.
조건이 맞지 않아.
Just run through everything. Kill it at the end. Jump. Lamppost. Highest point. Follow the right. Aggro those is fine. Just keep running. I don't know if they want me to tank. I really doubt I can tank. Oh, cat tanking.
조건이 맞지 않아. 사용할 수 없습니다. 아직 사용할 수 없습니다. 파티원이 사망했습니다. 파티원이 사망했습니다.
He wasn't queuing his cat. So dumb. Press middle mouse button. You can move the camera while you attack.
단위 경매가 시작되어 경매를 양보하였습니다. 경매가
I don't know if it's Shadow Death or not.
분배하였습니다. 경매가 모두 종료되었습니다.
No, it's Earth.
순순히 노예가 되거라.
Wait, that Death had a head start on you on that boss. You still beat what? No, wait, that was counting from the mobs before, wasn't it?
No, that was counting the. That was counting boss only. I'm gonna do the flowers. Summoner's going to aerial. It always comes back on the tank target. See? Root, then taunt. Middle.
조건이 맞지 않아 사용할 수 없습니다.
Use 6%.
조건이 맞지 않아 사용할 수 없습니다.
Really the most annoying boss for melees.
맞지 않아 사용할 수 없습니다.
31%.
강의 경례가 시작되었습니다. 경매를 낙찰받았습니다. 경매가 유찰되어 시작으로 분배하였습니다. 경매가 유찰되어 다음 경매가 시작되었습니다. 어트랙션 퀘스트가 모두 종료되었습니다.
쥐도 새도 모르는 죽여주마. 여기를 무덤으로 골랐구나.
순순히 노예가 될 거라.
So what was that about being 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4? They don't have enough DPS for no mark. Kidding me? Okay, by the time he's angry, he should have only 2 open.
Okay, what does this 3 set for BT do again?
조건이 맞지 않아 탈출할 수 없습니다. 조건이 맞지 않아 사용할 수 없습니다. 강의 경매가 시작되었습니다.
No, they don't have enough DPS to do that, cons. They know that.
받았습니다. 다음 경매가 시작됩니다.
No, again, my video, like my fight just now, you guys kept saying it's gonna be 1, 2, or 2, 3, or 3, 4. It went 1, or sorry, it went 2, 2, 3, and then 1. It skipped 4?
다른 파티원이 낙찰받았습니다. 다음 경매가 시작됩니다.
I'm just gonna tell you that there is no order for it.
경매가 양보하여 돈으로 분배하였습니다. 다음 경매가 시작됩니다.
Cons, it went here. 2, 2, 3, and then 4. It's supposed to be 1 according to you guys.
다른 파티원이 낙찰받았습니다. 다음 경매가 변경되었습니다. 다른 파티원이 낙찰받았습니다. 파티장으로 임명되었습니다. 모두 종료되었습니다.
If you want to go by that, go ahead. When a ball appears to appear somewhere it's not going to be, go ahead. Just go ahead then. It's not hard to just pan your camera and look for it. I don't go by that fucking shit. Because that's retarded. Look for your eyes. That's what eyes are for, no? Literally, just look around.
I'm not entirely sure this 3-set BT is worth losing the 8-set turtle.
혹시 물건을 잃어버릴까봐 걱정 중이시라면 잘 나르국의 주화를 모아오신다면 운을 빕니다.
It's retarded to try and anticipate if it's gonna be 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 1. Because if you're only looking 2 spots and it doesn't spawn at those 2 spots. Yes, it can, Core. Of course it can. If a generator is already filled on that 2 spots, on that 2 switches, yes, you can. You can go back in the VOD. This fight just now that I did the solo marker. It was 2 and 2. That's already filled. It still came from 2. It came down the lane to fill in 3. It can spawn at a generator with double that's already filled. It's not gonna miraculously just skip it. Has a chance to spawn there, it has a chance to spawn there. You have plenty of times to spin. Just use your eyes. Comes at 1, well, you better get your ass to 1, because it does a little sparkly thing at the generator before the ball actually comes out. And when the ball actually comes out, it stands there for like 2 seconds before it starts moving. So you have plenty of time to get there and move it and change the switch to whatever direction you actually need it to switch to. It's not percent. If you cooled him down twice, the 3rd and 4th time he's gonna double spawn. And always in the opposite direction. So if it spawns at 1-3, then the next one's gonna be 2-4. Then 1-3, then 2-4. That's why it's impossible for like a warlock to do it or something. If you have really bad switch setup. Because when you're actually doing it normally in that first phase to second phase, when I just ignored my buff, you're supposed to set up the switches so that, let's say you're in switch number 1, it's supposed to go left then up to fill in the generators. So you need to put the switches to the left first, and then for the switch number 2 you need to switch it to 2 at the top. If that doesn't make sense, here you go. I'm gonna draw something. Boss is in the middle. The switches, if you're presetting them, switch 1 should be facing this direction. Switch 2 should be facing this direction. Switch 3 should be facing this direction. Switch 4 should be facing this direction. If you're going to preset them. If you're completely out of order, like if you're switching like this and this because you needed to fill the last one was at switch 1, then you need to turn this 3 ticks. You need to turn this 1 tick. You should be turning this 1 tick. And you have to turn this 2 ticks to preset. If you don't preset it, then you're gonna have a little hard time to catch up. And when it's double time, you want to preset it to be left, up, right, and down. So then when you have, let's say, 1 and 3 spawning, it goes in, you switch it once, and you're done. This goes in, you switch it once, and it's done. Then the other 2 spawns, you switch tick once, and you switch this tick once. He cools down. And then the fourth phase, if you get up to a fourth phase, leave the switches how they are. Because if you get the marker then you just switch 3 times, 3 times, 3 times, and 3 times, and you're done. Don't go back and try and switch it back to 1 or 2. Just go and switch it 3 times. And here, let's say this is the 3 meters. Let's say that's the 3 meters. The tank should be at 3 meters. And the 2 other that are getting the marker should be that close. Right on top of the boss. And if you go out to do your switches and your buff ends, you need to go back into that same spot, that same range right away. Don't wait until the message, because that's too late. Just keep it in your head. If you do not have the buff, get your ass back into 1 to 2 meters. Alright, that's enough. Course doing next. Yeah, that's true too. That's true.